Hey everybody, this is Coach coming at you again with our next video in the video series. This one's going to be on a new device that we're going to be putting out to the district, both on the line and in the day staff gyms, called the Rite. Before I introduce the product, what I want to do though is go over what this product does and the muscle it's targeting. This is called the hip flexor. This is the spine, the hip, and facing forward. This muscle comes off of all the lumbars into the inside of your hip and down to the femur, along with the iliacus. They form this really strong muscle that helps flex at the hip. Okay, this is called the hip flexor. This is one of the most evil, destructive muscles when it gets tight, and it will destroy the low back if it's not taken care of. Now, here's the problem with the hip flexor, is that it loves the seated position, and I'll show you real quick. When you're seated, what it looks like is this right here. And here you are at your computer, doing your work at your table, right? Well, right now, what's happening during all this time that you're focused on the computer or watching TV, this hip flexor sits right here, and it starts to get tighter and tighter. It's the same as being in a cast, and once you stand up, this stays tight, and then the low back starts to hurt. So what we're trying to do is get into this area right here and do some trigger point massage to get those to calm down. And then a lot of times folks that use this the Rite, what happens is they get instant relief from their low back pain. And this is something that's very gentle. It is self-guided by you, the participant. And you just got to be good at kind of maybe inflicting a little bit of pain on yourself. So here's the Rite. And the way the Rite works is it has these two nodules right here. Now, I'm going to lay on it face down. And when I lay on it, I'm going to position this in line with these two hip flexors. And with this diagram, you'll see they line up right on those hip flexors. So laying down on it, what you're going to do is you're going to apply pressure with your own body weight and rub back and forth. And we're going to apply a pressure point to these two hip flexors to get them to loosen up. It's like taking your thumb and putting it on a hard muscle. Well, this is in place of your thumb. Now, yes, this is going to go into your abdomen. Now, you're going to slowly rock back and forth, and what's going to happen is it's going to find its way to the very back of your abdomen, which is also the front of your spine, and then it's going to find those two hip flexors, and it'll let you know, because it'll be kind of uncomfortable, okay? But you got to breathe into it. It's like a really deep massage. Breathe into it and just let it release. Give it 2 or 3 minutes, and you'll see some results. And when you stand up, we'll also show you a hip flexor stretch to do along with this, and you should get some pretty good relief from low back pain that you've been dealing with for years. So this is the Rite, and now I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to make sure we understand where the Rite goes. Okay, so if you're wondering, the belt line, belly button, just draw a line from this bone right here, that's called the ASIS, here, and just kind of draw a line between there and your belly button, and it's going to be right in the middle of that line right here in this area. And just kind of search around in this area. If you go above the belly button, you're too high. If you go too low, it's going to be kind of painful. You'll be getting into the groin area and the bone of the femur. So it's in this general area right here on both sides. And I said that's where the psoas or the Rite will align with those hip flexors.
Okay, so here's the position you want to be in. Notice that the majority of my weight is on my elbows and in my knees. Notice that the toes are pulled up, and that's going to allow you to oscillate back and forth to find that trigger point. So here I'll show a progressive increase of pressure on the Rite. And so I'm just finding the spot, letting it work itself into the back of my spine. Then I add more pressure by pulling the knees up, and that puts more of it onto the Rite. And that's going to take a few breaths, and you just got to kind of work yourself into it. And again, back to oscillating to try to let that relax, because you've got to really consciously work on letting your abdominals relax and let that Rite find its spot in the back of your abdomen, also the front of your spine there. So now you notice I take the weight off of the elbows. As I get more comfortable with it, I can again start to melt into the Rite. And this can take upwards of 5, maybe 10 minutes. to happen. So just be patient with it. Kind of go to a happy place and relax and just let it do its work. So that's the So Rite. If you have any extra questions about it and have any concerns, like always with everything else we do here in health and fitness, just give me a call. I can come out and meet you at the station. We can go over it one-on-one. And as always, be safe out there, and thanks for your time.